for you and available here. We've not seen too many games just yet, so it's hard to grasp really what makes or breaks these first picks.
The one thing we have seen across all three series, and this is obvious, like as old as League of Legends has been, Renekton has still been very high priority phase 1 in terms of the picks, but I am liking to see, or interested to see how this Orianna continues to develop throughout the rest of the series. And now GAM, where do they go? Like you mentioned, Lee Sin is open, Jarvan is open, Xayah is open.
I would expect something like a Kennen, maybe picked a little later on. Orianna has been the pick that we've seen a little bit dominate just yesterday.
So we're expecting it to feature a lot more as well.
Exactly, and it's moving up in priority. Earlier on, we're seeing it be picked on 4-5 or something to that nature, but now it'd be seeing it just as a straight-up blind. Makes sense here for Kati, and it's a good setup for a ball delivery system for whatever Levi wants to pick. So just great overall follow-up engage. But to hit on the Renekton a little more, with Loud's priority around Rift Herald, that's just going to be my focus. I want to see what Robo is able to do in early Rift Herald fights with that.
Yeah, I really think that Xayah pickup was very important. Had you not picked Xayah, I'm expecting a Syndra to come through from tinowns here. They could have probably picked it with a Syndra Xayah rotation. Now you don't really have to look for that. But Root's been a scary Kaisa too. So it wouldn't surprise me to just see Syndra Kaisa come through while you still have the availability of picking these champions before they get banned in the second ban phase.
I mean, that Kaisa is Root's most played champion. 10 games this summer, 8-2 on the particular champion. And wonder whether or not we're going to end up seeing this Orianna Azir matchup a whole lot. Is something we were theorizing coming into the tournament, something tinowns has played as well.
Azir's fantastic into the Xayah, so that's an expectation that I have. Also, I'm expecting a Nautilus to be picked up on the side of GAM, so it'd be a good way of disengaging if that's the pick. But the point that you already made, Kaisa, looks already getting locked in.
Yeah, and you can just look at this right now, that Nautilus would be a great pickup right now to just counter the bot lane if you're looking for it. But you also have to make the cognizant decision now saying, do I actually want that Levi Lee Sin? Do I want them on a carry right now? I don't think it has to be a priority just because the jungle pool is still as big as it is, but the support pool will be slimmer and slimmer. So I think the Nautilus will be the best pickup here.
All right, already an interesting... just taking a look at the first phase right now, do love the Kaisa being picked up for Root, just how well he's been playing domestically. Just giving him the power for an engage. If, let's say, Robo finds a nice stun, or a pick being made by Rakan here for Xayah, like, I think putting the power into Root's hands is the way to go.
And listen, anybody who's watching from Brazil, or anybody who's cheering for Loud, is going to be ecstatic with these first 3 picks. Because every single one of them is the #1 most played, one of the most successful for their respective players. The 2 they were missing is Poppy and LeBlanc. Poppy's been banned away.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting the LeBlanc to come in. But for Loud, this is pure comfort. It obviously works in the patch as well. And in phase 2, Sejuani once again finds herself in the ban pool. Loud are taking their time on their first ban.
What I'm afraid of for GAM is if Loud starts to pick a little bit more range. Because you can already see good AP Kaisa pick here, just trying to pick off Orianna and Xayah's smaller range pool. So like, I'm thinking Jace as a strong option for tinowns. If the option looks good as it goes into 4-5, then I would love it, and it makes their comp really strong around poke.
Alright, Nocturne ban coming through as well. I was really curious to see that K'Sante got banned. Most of the time, Renekton are happy about that matchup. He gains lane power, not to do much with it. He just gets played for himself. He slowly but surely builds up a gold lead, but it also means that they are scared a bit of Kiaya. Another champion that Kiaya could play that's just straight up not a carry could be an Ornn here. We've seen it multiple times, and so many times these games as well have been dictated by the team fight. But no, it is actually going to be that respect paid to Levi. I was wondering if Croc was looking for it himself in case they would not fourth pick it. But for now, jungle pool still very wide and open. That J4, as we've talked about, is available, and it would actually be good for Croc just against Xayah.
Do something fun. I want Levi to do something fun. I'm expecting the J4. I just want something more fun.
Ooh.
You might get it.
I like the Rumble Hover here. Even though you have a lot of AP already within the composition, pick up a Void Staff. That's a really good bully.
Do you think Levi runs in the jungle? I mean, I'm expecting that top lane, right? But
yes.
Like, I don't know, I've got the tingle. Nevertheless, it's locked in. Right, now we're going to find out from Loud how they're going to round out their composition. Does tinowns go for that Jace? Obviously play that poke options. What is Croc going to be running in jungle himself? So
I mean, I would just be happy with a J4 Syndra rotation here. Like, J4's super good into Xayah due to the fact that you can go for the combo with your EQ, then she ults, and when she then ults, well, you just ult her yourself, and then she's stuck in there. She does not have a dash. It's going to be a classic, though, from tinowns as well. As I said, they've played a lot of Neeko, too. I think Syndra could have been just as good into the Ori. You kind of force her to buy the Merc Treads. There's not too much Merc Tread value just yet, well, outside of all the champions so far. And pairing this up with J4 gives you very scary team fighting.
It's funny. So in the first phase, when we talked about Nautilus as a pick going into Rakan, yeah, great in isolation, but now you're looking at the comp as a whole. Really tough for Nautilus to try and take fights into Neeko and Rakan. If a fight were to happen, he's just... I know we talk about him as an int champion. That's going to be a lot of ints if the fight doesn't look great from the get-go. So Jarvan being a hover, just cook him up in the hot pot.
Talk to me about this Viego. My eyebrows. I haven't seen him play this summer.
I mean, it's just like I often see the Viego. I don't think he's as good as these teams value them to be. So much of it happens in the team fight, not so much in the early game. It's not been where Loud has found their true strength. Another thing is, you've just created an insane scary wombo combo on the enemy team. That's a Jarvan with an Orianna that gets a combo with the ball. They all go into the mean grind, and then all of a sudden they're getting grilled by an Equalizer on top of them, and the team fight just looks insane for GAM.
Yeah, I'm completely aligned with you. I like GAM's composition. The dive from Loud is not really that threatening as long as Slayder is able to, of course, we'll have flash, of course, we'll have ulti. There are a lot of ways for him to get out of this situation, and it's just a very simple wombo combo off J4 ulti, Rumble ulti, Orianna. Like, there's a lot for GAM to just flip the switch and take the fight.
I'm over the moon that we got a lot of time to introduce these teams to talk about the compositions. I've heard your predictions already. Now you've seen the draft. I'll give you an opportunity to change. Who wins game 1?
I actually think GAM is looking really good here.
Yeah! Yeah, you do, huh?
Yeah, well, they got the Xayah. I said that already up it with 10% of the win percentage. They have a Rumble. They get J4. They have Ori. I think on this patch, that's just some of the best OPs you can have.
So, Raz, you're just gloating here. You happy with this as well?
Yes,
GAM,
I am.
Game
Thank
1?
you very much. I expected it. The draft makes it a little easier.
All right, that does it. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience, everybody at home. We're about to jump over the costas. Oh, Dagda, Oisin, give me a high five. Put your hands together. There we go. Hey, there we go. Boom, you guys.
Yes.
Good luck, have fun, lads.
Yes! Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, we had a whole thing set up. It was like, oh, let's do like a movement thing, and it was like, not in this suit, not a chance.
Just slap all the hands.
Slap all the hands, everyone go in. But the teams are locked and loaded, and we are kind of figuring themselves out, kind of seeing where these two teams want to go for. This is their first game here at Worlds 2023. And again, probably for the first time in a very long time, Loud are coming in as a pretty hot and pretty kind of favored in these things. But, as they say on the desk, this draft is going to be difficult.
You just said you don't favor Loud.
No, I don't. I said most people do. I said the perception was, I prefer GAM. You will not twist my words.
Well, Loud already trying to see if they can get Kiaya here. Good sidestep.
Nice sidestep. A little bit of damage. Should be fine. No real CC. If you start with the CC on the Renekton at level 1, you're not going to have a fun time.
Yeah, also, I mean, with a minute just coming up onto the clock, they'll be fine to reset and come back in. So not a huge amount there, but also not a huge amount invested for Loud, right? They'll get some vision control down on that top side. They'll spot out with the red is going to happen if maybe Levi is going to try and go for some sort of early gank in towards the mid lane, but at the moment you're just going to be able to back away, so not too much on either side really coming out there.
Yeah. Bit of vision, a little bit of early warding as such, but outside of that, not really a lot else. I mean, just count your minions. That's all you got to do, Kati. Yeah, he's going to make sure he definitely now realizes, like, wait a minute. But I mean, look, it's funny. It's like a little mini game that you have, obviously, with the Neeko, and we'll be keeping an eye on that for it. But obviously, coming into this game, I love what GAM have built up for themselves. Demacian Hot Pot is what I like to call it there, with the Cataclysm into the Equalizer. You add in a little bit of Pilt over Spice as well with the Orianna Shockwave. That's a massive wombo combo if you get caught.
And honestly, why, like we were talking before the game, saying, look, Croc probably should have taken the Jarvan.
Yep.
I mean, you get good luck up for the Orianna and the Xayah. You're able to set yourself up. Slayder will get a little bit of a hit here, but Paladin able to keep things in check. But honestly, I think you're setting up so nicely here for GAM. Like, Root's going to struggle with that. tinowns is going to struggle with that as well. Now, at least you do have a good amount of counter engage, like from tinowns yourself. But hold on.
Level 2 does get hit. The Ignite goes down, but I feel like Slayder really wanted to fully commit to that. Now they can fully turn back on. Oh, Slayder goes fully in, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get killed down. I think Root should be able to walk away. And that's going to be just a nice little turnaround. It felt like GAM could have had it, but Loud are the ones with first blood.
Yeah, once the level 2 was hit from Loud, Slayder wasn't really following up from Paladin. Not really the communication there to be like, hey, I really want to go for this. Now, Slayder does try and follow up with the flash himself, but no damage. Seos gets the kill himself, and Loud already on the board.
Seos getting himself that first blood, and that wave's in such a terrible position for GAM as well. It's really going to be difficult to kind of get that one back, but still advantage for Loud to get in the bot lane. And it all came from GAM being very, very over-aggressive. We'll see what they can use with that a little bit later on.
But I'm also keeping my eyes on the jungle because both flashes were burnt by GAM in this one. So we see it here, right? Pallet does go forward. Great flash, great setup, but Slayder not really in a position to follow up as he was trying to take the last CS. So Xayah goes in, you get the proc of the passive from Pallet, and it's good damage turnaround from Slayder, but not enough left in the tank then to try and finish this out. So Root gets the walk out, just burning the pot. So you have both flashes now still on Loud. And look at where Croc is. He's already started to move back down towards his bot side. I think he's going to be looking for a gank.
Yeah, I 100% expect him to be able to do that, but so it'll be interesting to see now if you give the respect you need. GAM need to be very aware. This wave state is so painful.
Look at the CS.
Yeah, like, I mean, and there's nothing they can do. They know they have to just stand backwards because if they walk any way forward, it's a 2-level difference between Croc and the bot lane.
Yeah, and Jarvan's already in the top side. He wants to look for a dive to see if he can counteract this play in the bot end.
Yeah, they're going to try and see if they can go for a full dive here. It'll be difficult going up against Robo, but they're going to be able to get him fully taken in. Good flash there by Kiaya. And they get themselves out on bot side. So GAM, not to be outdone, they will unfortunately still have a bad time bot, but at least they're making something else happen around the map.
Yeah, Xayah's had to burn his flash to try and make that happen, though. Wasn't quite able to get there. Gets the cleanse out of Slayder. But on the top side, as you said, like Levi, managing to follow that flash from Robo with his own flash, gets the kill and sets up nicely. So at least for GAM, they're still getting some pressure on the map.
A little bit of pressure, and keeping that Renekton down is always a nice little thing. Let's have a look at the replay here, because again, it's just clean, really nicely done there, waiting for as much time as they possibly can.
Yeah, Robo's trying to clear out the wave here. That's where he goes, and then flashes in, but Levi, good reactions with his own flash to follow through on the flag and drag. And then we get the look of bot. Pallet hooks out, Slayder gets knocked up, but you can see the cleanse comes through. He gets to walk out. Good block from Pallet anyway, so didn't really need to use that cleanse, but either way, GAM are able to get away from that one on the bottom end.
Yeah, we see them now going a bit aggressive on that top side. Still a bit of damage here, but yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the Renekton really wants this one here. The flash forward, he gets overheated, he has enough damage! And that top lane matchup is really going in favor of GAM now. Croc trying to equalize it out, he flashes forward just to confirm it, and will be able to trade it back 2 for 2 on the board.
Tinowns now up here though as well, just to make sure they can try and catch that wave, but really nice job there from Kiaya now. Xayah's, Pallet, level advantage over towards Loud. Even Slayder still level 2 on the spot and just ticks over to level 3. This wave finally crashing in means he'll be able to pick up a bit, but a lot of damage already done. You can see nearly 40 CS to 11 on the spot side.
Yeah, I mean, look, the featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz, it is still Robo and Kiaya, and I think right now Kiaya is having a much better time of it, so we'll see how that really affects the game, because the Rumble in the mid-game with those equalizers can just completely take over.
The big question mark for me is how this starts to come through at level 8. You have Kiaya, who's very much in control of this matchup, and if he can then lean that in towards the Rift Herald, that's going to be fantastic. But one of the big things that I've seen is kind of how GAM tend to fumble their first Rift Herald play. They'll try and send Kati, who has TP, down to that bot side, but he's oftentimes either, well, doesn't have his TP up and available, or is late on the reset, and Slayder and Pallet then aren't in a position to try and go for that Rift Herald as well, and it gives the opportunity for the enemy team to set up, find kills, find opportunities. So especially against a team like Loud, where you know they're most threatening post 20 minutes, having those first 15 minutes confirmed in your direction are the best way to try and go against this team.
There it goes. First 6 minutes have been pretty equal. A little bit of an advantage there for Loud. Very much centralized into Root and the CS lead, about 20 or so, maybe 15 after these minions do end up getting taken out. But this is a game or a series that Loud will be feeling fairly confident in. It's a series they should be able to come out with a win and keep themselves in that upper bracket. That's the big thing right now, is that with the double elimination, you're not done and buried, but getting yourself that extra little life is so key.
And for Loud, it's going up against PSG Talon as well, who knocked them out of MSI, trying to see if they can find that rematch. But GAM, they're no pushovers here. Like, seriously, this has been a great early game for them. They've got good control. I mean, bot lane is definitely going to be an issue for them. It's just going to be a case of if Levi can try and find that success to skirmish around the top side. You can see Loud kind of realizing that, like, we will take this dragon nice and early, make sure we're able to set ourselves up for success, whereas GAM are trying to play towards their own strong side, which is the top half of the map.
Yeah, and I think the big thing as well is that this is just really smart there from Croc as well, just saying, look, we have massive pressure bot side, let's just get the dragon, start that stacking early.
I'm curious if they actually go for the dive on the top side here. Like, you can see that Levi's in position, Kiaya has ults, level 6-4 Robo means it might be a bit difficult, but I mean, getting something going as this Rift Herald is about to spawn is going to be great.
You can see whether they want to try and put that priority. Levi hasn't really been bot lane at all. He came bot just to kind of hover a little bit, but outside of that didn't really do much else. Sales Jumps in, Root gets rooted, but outside of that, it's just going to be pain, unfortunately, for Slayder and Pallet. They're not really going to be able to kind of get much of a kill priority. I mean, Serrated Dirk in the difference right now between Root and Slayder makes it so difficult for him to walk up. And you can see here, he's just taking a fight because he knows he can kind of go for it. Even with the Root coming out, it's still very much, LLL coming out on top.
Yeah, just about. It is a little bit more cautious because as that minion wave comes in, a lot of the damage is gone from the Q, so we'll have...
Oh! Flashing, get the W, and now we can see a bit of a move on the top side. The equalizer not going to be utilized just yet. Kiaya knows he's dead. And that's just Kati not really in position to help because Levi was on the Dragon, or sorry, on the Rift Herald. Now the Pop Blossom come out. They're going to get a flash out from the Orianna, and everyone's a little bit isolated. Do they get the Rift Herald? That is the question. Levi's going to have to flash away. He'll get the kill onto the Rift Herald, but he won't be able to collect the die.
Big wins for Loud. Kill on the top side onto Kiaya that goes over towards Robo. The kill on bot side coming through from Root as well. Like, Root has been so good at getting these solo kills in lane, and now once more picking up those solo kills once more when it gets to the world stage.
Loud really coming up trumps right now, getting that kill on the top side, and it was just a load of disconnected efforts from the side of GAM. This one was just straight up Root saying, I'm stronger, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I thought he might flash forward initially to try and get more Q isolated, but we're into the fight. Kati's gone.
Kati is dead. Root picks up his second kill. He's got an Umbral Glaive first item, so he is so powerful right now, and he is not wasting any time making people know about it.
Yeah, this is one of the big changes we've seen to the build path coming through from the Kaisa, where it's like, I'll go for the Umbral Glaive first, get serrated, get access to that Q evolve as well. But it's such an early spike with this Umbral Glaive as well, because it's such a cheap item that you can actually play very aggressive in lane. But I mean, Kati just not realizing Sayos was there, tries to interrupt the back, and Sayos immediately flashing in. He knows the flash was already burnt in that Rift Herald fight, and Kati gets caught out for it.
Yeah, that was just a little bit unfortunate there, just not recognizing where everyone was on the map, and that's why you need to have tabs as much as you possibly can. But I mean, this bot lane advantage is just skyrocketing.
But the problem is that, like, the top lane advantage the GAM have, they couldn't really play through. Like, Croc did a good job of getting in there with Robo as GAM was trying to set up for the Rift Herald fights, and we said, hey, look, the big thing I want to focus on is how do GAM set up for their first Rift Herald. They fumble it here, they give the advantages to Loud, and now Loud are starting to slowly but surely gain more and more pressure off of that. So I think this is where Loud, as long as they can keep this up, are going to be in a good spot. They crash this wave on bot, should be able to back away before Levi can really get in a position to do anything, and may even try and push their advantage to, like, deep vision here in the bot side jungle, although going to back off, it looks like, for the moment.
And as well as that, like, you know, just having the fact that Root goes the Umbral Glaive, obviously that's the new build path, but Umbral Glaive is just, one, so cheap, but two, so effective, not even just in the stats, but it's from its active as well, clearing out vision, constantly having priority, and, you know, anyone looks for a sneaky little TP play, or, you know, a Jarvan trying to sneak into the side of the river, they're just not going to be able to get it.
Yeah, and it just, as you say, trying to control that bot side becomes a hell of a lot easier, but again, like, you can see now, 2 kills to him, Serrated Dirk completed, like, and you haven't even got, you got half an item completed towards Slayder on the opposite side. Like, it is such an uneven fight. Like, Slayder not only has his arms tied behind his back, he's probably got a foot at this stage as well. So for LLL, just try and continue to play around this bot side, bring Croc into the equation. Sales having that level 6 available can try and set up. Now, it will be tough. Ult for Xayah, flash for Xayah, cleanse. But if you can burn those before, like, Dragon in 50 seconds, that makes things 10 times easier for this next fight.
Absolutely, and look, it's not as if GAM don't have ways back into it, but like you said, it's going to be tough. You've got plenty of AoE, you've got plenty of wombo combo, but to be able to get it, and this is exactly what we were talking about, Root's just able to walk up, constantly clear out the vision and say, look, you don't have a way of moving into this vision, and like, straight away, look at the damage, half his HP from a Q and an auto.
Yeah, Pallet definitely feeling the hurt a little bit from Root right now. And I mean, straight up, that's just going to give control towards Loud to actually go for a Dragon as it spawns here. Like, Root too low to really be the engage tool that you would like him to be, and maybe can try and follow up, but Levi's on top side. Vision control completely belongs to GAM on this bottom end of the map, and the support of Croc here for Sayos at all points in time. How do you try and break this as GAM?
See if they can. Dragon does spawn as GAM now move their jungler and mid laner down towards this. They do have priority, but it's going to be neutralized now with that Neeko just kind of keeping things going. But I mean, yeah, like just the damage profile available for Loud at the moment is just insane. Even having that Triforce is available to them as well just makes it so much harder. And yeah, you don't have any way of stopping this stack. And this is the thing as well. You started the stack so early, 7 minutes. You get the next one basically off spawn. You're looking at a 23, 24-minute Dragon Soul, and it's, you know, an Ocean Soul is nothing to be sniffed at.
Yeah, I mean, Croc has just been able to sneak in here and get so much of this. Now going to be able to pick up the blue buff basically in the face of Levi as well, because Sales...
Dive. Slayder was going to try and get this one going there. The feathers go flying. They've used nothing. They used literally a battle dance, and that was it. That was all they had to get. Yeah, they got a TP and an ult. Like, insane amounts of priority in this bot side for Loud.
And you can kind of tell, look, GAM feel like their backs are against the wall. Immediately the TP comes down to bot side to try and prevent it, but Loud never overextended. They don't use Sales' ult. You get pushing mid now to get a plate for tinowns as well. And this is the slow, calculated style that Loud tried to go for.
You do it again.
Yeah.
You just go for it again.
The cleanse is there this time, though, with the flash, so maybe a bit difficult.
They're going to try and commit onto Croc, who does have to Heartbreaker himself out as the Nautilus ultimate was committed. But yeah, I mean, look, they're using so much just to keep Slayder in this game.
You do need to be careful in this scenario, though, as Loud, because you don't really have a tanky member. Like, Croc isn't tanky, Seos isn't tanky, so if you go underneath that tower and there's multiple members of GAM there, you're going to know about it very, very quickly. So I do like that they just kind of backed off there. Kind of bitten.
Oh, he's committing, though, because he's got the Q, the isolation! And he gets himself the 4 procs on the auto attack as well. That's just too easy.
That's 2 solo kills.
Yeah.
For the AD carry. That's not how this game functions. You're supposed to at least put a shield down Cruzeiro so you look good. This is insane from Root. He is popping off in the early stages. And I mean, you heard the desk, right? Once Root's in a good spot, it's going to be fantastic. And right now, he is looking sublime.
And the great thing about it as well is that Loud are kind of working around him and working around the kind of win condition that he has presented as we kind of look at the MasterCard lane economy snapshot. And yeah, I mean, 2100 is just an insane number to be hit. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's insane. He is the gold lead. Like, he is all of the gold lead from the bot side. But as I was saying, Loud are doing so well at accommodating that as well, because Robo's just kind of said, all right, cool, well, I'm not the carry. All I have to do is survive. Morty, straight away. I'm not going to be in team fights. We're not looking to team fight right now, so I'm not worried about having that big gore drinker for the big fights.
Yeah, it's just absolutely absurd. And again, what do you try and respond with his GAM? Like, we've had Levi try and get into different positions, but top lane fell apart. Robo's been playing relatively safe. They hasn't really tried to get into mid lane, which I thought maybe was an option, but realistically, Seos has kind of been beaten to the punch in that position, and he's been kicked out of his bot side. So trying to find angles of attack into mid lane just isn't really happening right now.
No, it is not. The one thing I will say that's going in GAM's favor for now is that it's a very low attack range in terms of actually sieging down a turret. So taking a turret is actually quite difficult for the side of Loud. It will take multiple kills for them to be able to do it, but I mean, this is just a really smart little bit of play. It's like, if I land the W, we go in. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, immediately the damage comes down, and again, this is the strength of this new build. You get so much lethality early, you get so much damage early, and the Loud fans very happy to see that one come through.
I mean, they're looking strong, they're looking confident right now, and they're looking like a team who's ready to kind of put the pressure down.
They're a team that looks like they want that rematch against PSG Talon. Like, this is a team that got knocked out against them in MSI. I mean, even Croc has been playing under the name Son of Junja in Portuguese over in CB LoL. Like, PSG Talon have been living in these guys' heads. So for this is we want our revenge. We want to go up against PSG Talon and knock them out at Worlds and take that spot in the group stage.
Have a bit of to go for it, of course. Double elimination, this is the winner's side. So win this, you get yourself an opportunity to get yourself towards that final match, the qualification match, of course. And of course, we see it from the other side as well tomorrow. But this first group is definitely starting to heat up just a little bit. And look, for GAM, expectations for the VTS, they were kind of the second tier of teams. They were always kind of touted as this team that we would, or this region that would always be able to kind of bounce back. Yes, it was a very unfortunate time where they couldn't really go to internationals, but we always kind of said that they would be able to do it. Right now, they are very firmly on the back foot, nearly 3,500 gold down.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been the aggression that we always talk about from Vietnam. It's just been unfortunate that, I mean, Seos and Root got a good control of that bot lane early. Despite the fact Kiaya was able to get control over top side, that was kind of turned around by Croc. So I think GAM want to try and find these big team fights now where maybe they can lock down Root and tinowns, get that ultimate, combo off with Levi, Kiaya, and Kati. That's kind of their big way back into this, but it needs to land on the key members.
And the thing is, though, is that Kiaya was kind of moving down, cheating down, but it means that he left that top lane pretty much for free. Now, Pallet having to lose his flash because he's just not in a position to get caught like that. And little by little, bit by bit, Loud are just wrestling back control. They're not letting the side of GAM have a foothold.
Yeah, and you talk about, look, in a team fight, yes, Loud are very low range because you want to try and get a lot of the ultimates off, but you got good poke that can come through from tinowns, the W from Root as well. Like, there's a lot of damage that can come through quite quickly here, so you do have to be very, very careful. As now Rift out in mid lane, sets up for the push, sets up for the control again, going in Loud's favor on that bot side jungle, and they rotate back towards the dragon. And I mean, you're a complete item down for Slayder. You can't compete in these team fights if you can't get the wombo off.
And Robo does exactly what Robo needs to do. I'm on weak side. It's fine. We're going to back away. We get a tower, we get a dragon. There's nothing to do really outside of just walk away. If they get the tower, sure, it was an equal trade in their sense for the towers, but now you are on Ocean Soul point at 18 minutes. That is a 23 Ocean Soul fight that you have to go for as GAM. If you let this Renekton Viego combination get themselves an Ocean Soul, they're never dying.
And in my professional opinion, Oisin, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's an awful place to be.
Is that the technical term, is it?
Yeah.
The legal term.
It's a bit of a whoopsie, as we say in the business. But
big oof, if you do want to say it. Like.
But it's also like, you got Root now, so basically the way this build works is you now go up towards an Asher's Tooth, so you end up in being able to get that AP damage into your build as well, a lot of that attack speed, and you're just in such a good spot. Like, this is so incredibly hard to try and operate off of now. And with Root this far accelerated, yes, this build kind of does play off of lethality and can't fall off, but I mean, it's not even 20 minutes into the game. He's 3 kills. It's insane.
Yeah, it is. An immediate flash has to do like Kiaya, but he gets caught out anyway, and they go straight in with the assassination. Kiaya trying to save the tower if he can, but not really a lot else going for them. And Loud looking good right now, really starting to put down a serious performance.
I mean, oh no, Slayder, no.
He's gonna lose his cleanse, won't lose anything else, but I mean, that's already just walking to the lane in arguably the safest position to go for. He wasn't cheating, he went the long way around and he still lost something.
Look, the only place that's safe for GAM is their own base, and Robo's just ignoring them.
They use the TP on the tower that's going down. Why are you doing this, GAM? You can't fight that. And they lose the Nautilus as well. Pallet becomes putty in their hand, and it's just win after win after win for Loud. They are looking solid.
Yeah, the entire top side belongs to them. Turret gone, jungle gone. I mean, Baron is up in 10 seconds, and honestly, that might be gone. Yeah. But this is super nice, right? Again, Robo is like, hey, I've got this Maw. I can just ignore the damage from Kiaya. Kiaya is forced to flash, but they know that Root's in a position to just follow up here. And again, like, look at the vision control that is in the jungle right now. There's so little to spot out these plays. But Loud know, hey, look, we actually have spotted Jarvan is starting to move to bot side. We can try and go for this play here. We own the top half of the jungle, so we know exactly what we're up against. Kill the tower, use the demolish, and there's just no thing that GAM can do in this scenario.
It's just little small mistakes from GAM as well. The TP coming in on an already dead turret, it just feels like it's just compounding it.
And you know what the terrifying thing is? This is the part of the game that Loud are better at. The post 20-minute mark is when they come alive, and Kati is feeling it.
Kati is feeling it. He's feeling the pressure as well. Double knockup comes in on top of it. They get the tangled barbs down. Levi forced to flash away. That's a TP coming in from the Rumble just to run away because he realizes he has no business being here. You have no reason to ever take these fights, and Loud are looking to put a serious marker down. They are coming for PSG.
Yeah, damn, GAM, you do not want to be in these scenarios. Is Kiaya going to be able to walk away from that one? But he said it. Baron spawns. Loud is saying, hey, that looks nice and pretty. Well, let's go and take it.
What if we took all the buffs? What if we get the earliest soul we could possibly think of and then take a Baron off, basically off spawn?
Yeah, basically Loud say, can we have it? And GAM just have to say yes.
Yeah.
There is nothing they can do to get out away from their base. Like, that mid lane turret is holding on with a struggle, because the second you step up, you're going to have so many different flank opportunities that come in behind them. And here again, like, GAM are all kind of set up to go, hey, we can try and keep this safe. But Kati separates for a second. Croc takes his chance. Pallet uses the hook thinking there might be a flash over the wall and trying to preempt it, but ends up meaning that he doesn't have his hook up and available. And then again, Loud collapsing quicker, in a better position. Slayder not really there because he's trying to clear a mid-wave, and Loud are able to follow up nice and easy.
And this has just started from the get-go by Loud. This is Loud turned around and said, bot lane is our priority as they come out with the Red Bull Baron power play, but bot lane is their priority. Root is their carry, and this guy is doing so well with giving that responsibility.
I mean, this game is sheer bot lane diff.
Yeah.
The level 1 and level 2 going as wrong as it did for Slayder and Pallet gave the freeze. Croc was in a position to just continue letting Root and Xayah have that freeze. Root getting 2 solo kills in the bot lane as well. Like, it has not been a good look coming through for the GAM bot lane.
Now you have 30 seconds for GAM to kind of fight against this Ocean Soul. Now, I will say it's one of the souls that people tend to kind of go, look, we don't have to fight it, but I mean, you got to go for something here. Like, you're looking at a 3-item Kaisa here for Root. He has just been insane right now. 3-0 and 5. Just a monster in his own right. Level 14, like, he's the same level as Kiaya in the top 5. He's the same level as a solo laner.
Yeah, I mean, the kills and assists will do that for you. And Loud, they kind of know that they're in a great position. Siege up here on bot side, they have a lot of opportunities to try and escape away. Like, Xayah's very difficult to lock down. Croc, because the ultimate, kind of difficult to lock down. So they're just going to let tinowns push in mid. And I thought he was going to look for the mid turret, but looks like they want to try and take a fight as GAM are a bit far away from safety.
Yeah, GAM will not have many places to run if they do get caught. And you can see there, Pallet recognizing that and just kind of throws a hook away. I mean, you got to go for something. TP back into the fight is going to be Robo off to the side. He's looking for a master flank. They do get a hook on, but it's only onto Xayah. So the Rakan's going to be able to walk away. Doesn't even use any of his cooldowns. They're looking for something. They're waiting for something, but that something is just not going to happen. And now they're getting turned on because they realize they've overstepped. Robo's on a flank, and they can start to pinch in. The Equalizer comes down to try and stop anyone from moving in, but Robo just gets himself into the stopwatch. The Pop Blossom and tinowns signs the death warrant here with the ultimate. Loud get everything. GAM have nothing, and this game is all but over.
tinowns goes kaboom and shuts out GAM in this one. The push on bot side is going to be the death knell coming through as Xayah just being a nuisance, just being annoying as they will continue to push forward.
Continuing with a push, they'll get it on all lanes. They might not end the game just yet, but they've still got Baron for 10 seconds. They're going to do some serious damage right now. They'll get themselves at least 2 inhibitors, and honestly, they can go back, reset, spend all the gold, put your T's down, dot your I's. You've got all the time in the world, and you have all the advantages as well.
Yeah, there's just nothing left for you here, GAM. I'm sorry for you, but when the early game goes this disastrously on bot lane, when Croc's able to correct the lane and top side, there is zero that can be done, and your entire jungle will go with it as well. It's only a matter of time until Loud coordinate themselves on top side, but this was brilliant. Like, Robo ended up in a position where he's able to get the flank. He's corralling GAM into a perfect position. Levi overextends, trying to see if he can get a steal, but isn't in a position. Robo over the wall into panic, but watch tinowns out of vision. Nobody knows as tinowns goes in and sets up beautifully for Loud.
And what just Robo again, who's part of our Mercedes-Benz featured matchup, is that he just goes in going, I have a stopwatch. It doesn't matter if they all try and turn and burn on because I'm going to be able to delay it. And that's exactly, it was the perfect bait. And it's exactly what happened. But I mean, yeah, look, Root's having an absolutely exceptional game, and even has a stopwatch as well to keep him from dying, should he even ever get caught.
Yeah, I mean, this is Root having a moment for himself on the world stage. Looks absolutely spectacular, and kind of showing what a lot of people were unsure of was like, how can Loud have these strong early games? Like, can they do it on an international stage? And this is a resounding voice from the Loud crowd. This is absolutely incredible to see.
Loud crowd, and that's the thing as well. We always come in. Oh, to say that we see Xayah might be getting caught out here. They're looking for a hex flash over the wall from the Nautilus, but gonna have to hold there for a second or two. Everyone just kind of walks away. Didn't have the timing on that, unfortunately. But that's the thing. Like, we look domestically. We look at how Loud have really come out and kind of dominated Brazil, and it does feel like it kind of gets a little bit of a you kind of in a bit of an echo chamber. You're not quite sure how they stack up, but this particular display of dominance is showing us just how good they are, and it just feels like right now we are coming at this team from such an incredible point of power, and they are feeling good.
about to feel a lot better as they're going to go under here.
He's going to go in, but they've actually been able to catch out Croc, and he's not gone down just yet. Now he has. Robo does have a GA, but he wouldn't like to use it just yet. His Maul gets used, and there's going to be an equalizer to try and stop them all. They get the knock up here, double down. The Feathers come in, and Root picks up a kill. Hulk comes out, Root shoots himself right into the backside. Triple go for the Kaisa, looking for a little bit more as well. Not quite able to get the last few auto attacks there onto the Xayah, but will turn and burn for the quadra kill, and they have to dive. They have to dive it. Give him the penta. You have to go for it right now. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get it on day one. He's got a couple more seconds. They're looking for it. They got the inhibitors down. They got the Nexus turrets as well. Finally, here they go. There's Slayder with the stopwatch. Finally, they go in under the turret. It's going to be a penta kill for Roush.
What a way to enter the world stage! A pentakill for Root to kick us off on the play-in stage. Pick'ems better be able to be changed because we're just setting up beautifully for it.
Your pick'ems are locked and loaded, but my God, Loud.